No time lapse on this one because we started. So what we have here, this is going to be a porcelain patio. Going to take all this out. We're going to reuse this. We're going to recycle the hardcore that we have here because that's absolutely perfect for it. And we've got one tray over there, so watch this space. Right, new project, laying porcelain. Going to run through very quickly, a bit of a checklist of where we are. If you come over here and have a look, so what we've done here, we've got a piece of 3x2 down the side here, and what we've done, what will become apparent after, but we've got to have a gap. The customer wants a gap so we can put some pebbles in, but also we're going to have a picture frame going round. So what we've done now, we've set our line up exactly 200mm from the house. We've got it on, we've got the level, we've got it at the correct height, and if you look down here, just run down here, Jack, you'll be able to see, you see the line coming through, all the way through, okay, exactly 200mm. You may have a discrepancy from in the brickwork sometimes, but we're only talking about 2 or 3mm, hopefully, if they've done their brickwork correct. So there we are, we've got this vertical timber down here, some 4x2, we've gone across with our level, checked the height, and we've actually checked 200mm from there as well. This is our lean mix, this is what we're going to be laying on, okay? Got a bit of loose stuff on here now, we'll sort that out in a minute, that's not a problem at all. So we've got our lean mix in, and the things about the lean mix is going to give you a rigid paving system, so that's going to work. I've talked about this so many times. So the checklist, what we have now over here, we've got sharp sand, okay, sharp sand. That's what you want when you're laying, in my opinion. So that'll be a 5-to-1 mix. We'll hardly put any water in there. We'll chuck 2 or 3 shovelfuls in there. We'll put some feb in there, let it go around a little bit, and we are going to be putting some SBR in with the mix as well. Though you talk about porcelain not having a great porosity value, but it's so important that you put the SBR in there, because obviously the SBR is going to do a couple of things. It's going to ensure that the mortar doesn't dry out too quickly, and the lean mix, what we're laying on, isn't going to suck it out of the mortar as well. That's the other thing you've got to take in consideration. But when you look at this, we're in the shade at the moment, we're not laying in hot sun, so we'll make sure, that's going to make sure that the lean mix isn't going to be, like I said, sucking the moisture out of the mortar, and that's what you don't want, because that's when you get the delamination. But to ensure that we got some longevity, what we're going to be doing is, yeah, I'm talking about, then come and have a look. Come over here, let's not mess around with it, we've got a lot of paving to get on with. This is Easy Prime, okay? This is from Aspects. You can make your own up, okay? You can make your own up by using an SBR, 50 SBR, like, and 50, it's 50-50 and 50 water. Get some cement in there, mix it up. You could even put a bit of sharp sand and you paint that on the back of your slab. That's going to make sure your slab adheres to your mortar. Okay, it's so important. So we've got the bucket, this is what we're going to be mixing in here. So sharp sand, we've got the mixer ready. We've got the ruby, okay, we're going to be using the ruby. Come and have a look at the ruby. Oh yeah, listen, probably the most important thing that you'll use as a contractor is a bucket, clean water, and a sponge. Always have it on hand. It's a bit like Clint Eastwood with his gun. So what we've got here, this is the ruby. This is the DX 250 1400, and it's great for me. You know, some say it's not the best of kit, but I think it is the best of kit. If you look at some of those other products out there, they're just too heavy. You can lift this in and out. I can get this in and out of the van myself, no problem at all. And with this, because you've got those long linear planks now at the moment trending, long and linear, that's the style that people are going for at the moment. You can get easily on here over a 1.5 meter plank on here, no problem at all. And they're getting even bigger. I seen one the other day, 1.8. But what we have here, look at this. What we have here, this is the new Ruby SPT Premium, and they say that with this blade, it's a segmental blade. If you have a look at it, just have a quick look at that. So they say with this blade, you're going to get probably 250 linear meters of cut. Now, when they talk about distances and saying that, is you've got to remember it depends on the user and how he's using it. And I've seen guys, and I've done it, I haven't changed the blade before now. I've used it on sandstone, I've used it on limestone, I've used it on slate paving, and I've kept the same blade. Yes, I run this blade through another material, because what will happen is you'll get the binding, the build up between the diamonds, so you've got to get rid of that. So that's what we're going to be using. This is a wet cut. You can use it in a 15 meter cubic capacity room for 3.5 hours without a mask. Okay, what I would say is with this, you want to make sure that you wear eye protection, because like anything, you'll get those little bits that could fragment off. So just going over what we're going to be doing today. So I've given you a run through. We've got all the tools here. We've got the ruby suction cups as well. Yeah, I'm talking about ruby quite a bit. These are the ruby suction cups, and we're going to be using those on this project. So we're going to be laying 900 by 450s. We're going to do a half bond, and we're going to have a picture frame in. But it's important now today that we actually get these tiles down, okay, or slabs or porcelain. That's it. Let's get on. Lost my handle. That's it. So what we have here now, we have the sharp sand, 5 to 1, 5 sharp, 1 cement. Okay, we do put the feb in first with the sand, because if you look at this sand, right, this sand is moist. Okay, it's moist. Has it got enough moisture in there? Well, we don't know yet, do we? And if you look inside here now, have a look, come and have a look, come have a look. Now, how many shovelfuls of sand do we put in there, Jack?
3.
3 shovelfuls of sand in there. We put just 1 gauge of
Fab.
yeah, which is a plasticizer, that's in, and we've also put a bit of SPR, because we want this product to be as waterproof as much as possible when it's outside, because water can be detrimental to any patio whatsoever. I've just changed the ratio. So what we're going to do, let that go around. That's had no water in there. I've got the water ready to tip in, but that's had no water. We're going to have a cup of coffee now. Going to let that go around just for a little bit, and then we're going to start adding our ratio of that 5 to 1. Being cameraman now. So what we've done now, we've dry laid how it's going to be and how it's going to work out. Talking to the client there, so it's exactly how they want it. And each row now, we will consult with them and make sure we're heading in the right direction. You can see our timbers holding the lee mix back, but that can come out now. But we'll take that out later. But you can see all the way down here, and there you go. So we're all ready to go. Just got to get some a mix on, nearly done, and get some slurry on. Let's do it. Here we are. This is a bit of a mistake that everybody actually makes, is that when you're taking a blade off a ruby, it is anti-clockwise. Okay, anti-clockwise. It's a left-handed thread. Is that right? Yeah. So anyway, here we go. This is the blade. This is what we're putting on. The SPT Premium. If you need one of these, just drop me a message, because I might be able to help you out. Look, see, I went to go that way, didn't I? Well, what we do with the slurry, we don't want to be mixing up too much. You just want to mix it as you go. But if you look at the consistency, that's what you want. And in this case, because different companies, different manufacturers, different products, and different methods. But this is what you do with the Easy product. Right. So what we're doing here. So I've got my slab slurried up, and normally I would use that slab before I slurry it up. I'm going to show you this as an example, because we've got the slab slurried up now. So what I would do is I get my slab, I place my slab on my bed, like so, okay? Making sure I keep everything clean. I've got my joint in between. I'll put the spaces in there in just a moment. But what I do now, if I slurry that slab and I pick it back up, it's going to pull the mortar with it. And you're going to say, well, why are you pulling it back up? Because what happens more than often, you pull it back up, and then you can actually see all the little voids that you need to fill up, okay? Because the last thing you want is having any voids whatsoever underneath your paving. Well, this will be the first time I use this this blade now, and we're going to be cutting it dead in half, aren't we? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so 450. Here we go. Well, there you are. That's the first time it's been used. There you are. We've got a full mill joint. You see we use the spaces in between to maintain that that gap. Make sure it's all equidistant, which we've done, and we've laid to a line going down here. We've got a nice fall going away from the house, and not bad progress for today. Before you even say anything, we've had permission that we can actually use this little arbour area, this little seated area by our clients, because they're very, very nice. And Jack's going to ask me, how did we get on today?
How did we get on today, John?
I think we got quite well, didn't we, Jack?
I think so.
You know, if you look at the amount that we've laid, we had to go and get some sand and some materials this morning, because we were unable to get it on Friday. But all in all, we've made steady progress, a positive progress, and we're good to go again for tomorrow, aren't we?
Yes.
So nice porcelain patio, and we've laid it with a 4mm joint. And what do you reckon about the 4mm joint?
I think it looks good. I think it looks smart, nice and neat gaps between there.
You were saying earlier on, it sort of looks really sleek and clinical, doesn't it?
Yeah.
With a smaller joint, and I think that as long as you've got a joint where you can get the filler, the jointing product down inside. Jackson asked me what sort of grout am I going to use on here.
What sort of grout are you going to use, John?
Oh, Jack, the sort of grout I'm going to be using on this project is a grout that's, as I always say, it's my favourite word, it's going to have longevity, reduce the maintenance, and I think one of the best grouts out there. Well, I've got to say, the easy porcelain grout from Aspects, that we've used that a few times, that's really good. But I want to give Mapai a go on this job. I'm going to do it with Mapai, and
I was about to say something very bad.
So this is day 5 now, isn't it?
Day 5.
Okay, here we are, day 5. Got it dug out, got the Lee mix in. We've got the paving down, most of the paving around the back. We're going to create some shapes either side here, linking to the decking and the arbour area, and we've got to do the manhole, and then we've got to go down the alleyway. Coffee? Got you. We've shuttered this off here to make sure that what we're going to do now, we're going to have like a picture frame that's going to sit on here. But what the client wanted in this case, from the picture frame to the house, they wanted a 100mm gap, because they want to put gravel, a decorative stone there. That's what they wanted, 100mm, and that's absolutely fine. So this is our Lee mix. You can see it's gone off really solid. We'll get that out now, and we'll start putting the picture frame along here. Well, Jack here. Jack, what are we on? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Mixing up the primer.
And what primer are we using?
Easy primer.
Easy primer. What's it been like? What's it been like? Seriously, you've used it now. What's it been like?
Yeah, it's good. Once it's on, bringing everything back with it.
But when you're mixing it, we don't mix up too much, do we?
No, it goes off.
Yeah.
Got to use it as quick as possible.
And it does work, doesn't it? If I show you this, we put the we had to take a cut out because it was wrong, but there you can see there's the easy prime. That's what it's done. It's doing its job, and that's what you want. You want your mortar really stuck to the slab. This little baby, just got that. Yeah. What are we going to do first, Jack?
Morning, Ryan.
Sort of blade.
Up to you.
What are we going to do, Jack?
Sort of blade down.
What happened?
You put it on long.
Yeah, let's go have a look. So it was pointed out to me yesterday that this was put around the wrong way, and yes, it was, and it was done purposely, Paul. So classic mistake, though. Seriously, joking and jesting apart, what you've got on these blades is that you have an arrow to show the rotation of where the blade's going. Now, I had it around that way, and it happens all the time. People start saying that it's cutting out a line, and that's because it's not designed to go the wrong way around. There we are, there's the rotation of the blade, and you need to see which way it's going. So if you look at this now, there it goes on, you can see the arrow. So what you've got, basically, you need to check this though. There's the brand on there. You can see the type of blade, the SPT 250 goes on like that. There's the arrow. That goes on, and remember, these are left-handed threads, so wind that out that way. Classic mistake, but make sure you get it right. Well, being a landscaper, you know, laying paving and cutting the paving, it's been a struggle for years, and we just wasn't moving on. Things were tough and just wasn't getting nothing done, and just a struggle. But I met someone else now, and things are great. I met Ruby. She's a great little blade, and she'll cut straight through it. Look at this. And that's from Ryan. Hi. Right, I haven't been able to show you much today because we've been hard at it and we've been moving on. I look like a pro with a pencil behind me here. Not that sort of pro. But yeah, but the guys are getting on, and got to say, big thank you to A1 Skips in Newport. They just accommodate, really good, helpful, such a polite service, very courteous in everything they do, and so thanks for that, and thanks for changing the skip. Really appreciate it. Oh, there we are. Well, we're coming down the alleyway now, and as you can see, alleyways are always a bit difficult, but you want a good team that's servicing you, slurrying your slabs, bringing your mortar in, moving your levels, and just generally helping you. You know, it's you know, all hands to the wheel as such. But we're getting there. Well, just want to show you where we are. You can see it's raining now, and we sort of got all the black edging, the picture frame coming all the way around here now. but we weren't able to get around there because we had to do some cuts. So I want to leave this side until tomorrow, but now we're going to go down the alleyway. But the one thing that we've done, we've left the customer's garden in a decent condition.